knowing what you know about life, would you recommend college to a high school senior?
Depending on what they're trying to pursue. Because some things you have to go get that technical training for. Like I use my wife for an example. If you're trying to get in the medical field, then yes, indeed, you need to go to college. You're trying to be a teacher, yeah, indeed, you need to go to college. Just certain things I feel like if you're trying to, that you're trying to pursue, that you really need that in-depth training for, then you probably need to go get educated.
Good morning from your favorite internet
Stay
uncle.
ready. You don't have to get ready. Get established. Let's go.
As far as the medical field, it depends on what you're trying to do. I'm 28 years in, and I don't have a college degree, and I've done pretty well. But like you said, it just depends on what you're trying to do. Like certain things you do have to go to college for, but I know a lot of people that have done very well for themselves that didn't go to college. We had this conversation earlier this year. So there's a lot of opportunities out here for people that don't want to pursue college. College isn't for everyone. And I think the perception, especially when I was growing up, is you got to go to college after high school if you want to be successful. And that's simply not true.
Right.
Decades before we came through, college was if there was a family of four, college was for the best and brightest of the household. It wasn't for all four children because everybody wasn't on the same level. And typically it was that one child that was extremely bright, that had a really bright income. That's who college was for. Everybody else go get a job, go get a trade. You know what I'm saying? But today's world, and I don't knock it. I think, I learned some very valuable things, from attending college. Sean, you got anything to chime in on this one?
I mean, I agree with Ro. It's like, if you have, if you're going to seek some type of professional career that is advanced enough to where you need that technical training, yes. It's dependent upon, like I said, the that challenge, their how they did in school, or their pursuits in their wants and desires as far as what they want to be. If they have a direction that they want to go that is requiring some type of advanced knowledge, then yes, I feel like it would be helpful. But for someone who say they don't have a direction in life and they don't know what they want to do, then I think that they should explore other options.
I'm glad you said that. What other options to college would you recommend?
It would be maybe some type of trade school if they know to get that type of that type of area, maybe Job Corps, to be able to travel and do some things to try to explore and open their minds to something beyond just, okay, I'm just going to get a job, and go in the workforce, and I'm just here just to be able to push that along, and or the service, if they want to, provide themselves with an opportunity to, in the future, if they want to go to school, then they'll have that paid for without having to worry about it, So those are options that they can choose from.
I'm going to chime in on this also. I'm going to say logistics. Right now, with what's been going on the last several months with the pandemic, Amazon and FedEx have just, that's just been the way to go as far as making money. You can actually buy a zip code with FedEx and do well if you have the money. And you can do the same with Amazon. If you just go get your CDL and drive for a few years, you can learn the business, the trucking business, and it's very profitable. So you can go that route. Also, being a barber or braiding hair. braiding hair is big right now. If you learn how to do lashes or nails as a female, that can be very profitable. So there are
Beauty
several
industry.
things. You said what now?
No, I said the beauty industry.
Yeah, there's several things you can do, and you can work for yourself. That was the interesting thing with me. I remember when I was in college, I had to do a speech on what I wanted to do after college, and I was a communications major, and I learned very quickly that I didn't want to work for somebody else for the rest of my life. I wanted to have some ownership in something. So that deterred me from finishing college because at that point I knew that college wasn't for me.
Okay. Well, that's good. That's good. Good answer, fella. So let me ask you this. We know that, you know, let's see, I had to get the numbers right. So I'm thinking because the decades just fly by, but it's probably about 30 years ago when we would be of entering college age, for us.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
during that time, I know for me, it was affordable to go to college. You could get a part-time job and that would cover your tuition and books. Now I don't know about room and board because I commuted. But when I started college about 30 years ago, my tuition and fees was $1,265. And what I mean by that is $1,265. That is not that is not anywhere near what it is today.
No.
It's expensive. So let me ask you, in today's world, is the college debt worth the better job?
Well, that all depends. It all depends. I think it is. Anything that you have a passion for, that you love to do, then it's worth it to invest in training to be prepared. Because in your training, if your goal is to be on your own or have your own, even if you're going to be a doctor, lawyer, whatever, the goal is to have your own practice. Then yeah, it is worth it. It's investing in yourself. If you're going to start your own business from scratch, you're going to incur some type of debt to, invest in yourself. So I think it's vital. Whatever correlates with your passion, whatever type of schooling or training you need correlates with your passion, then yeah, it's worth it. It's not worth it if you're unsure. If you're not,
I hear what you're saying, and I've just seen so many instances where kids go to college as a 13th grade instead of going to college really looking for saying this I know what I want to do.
Exactly.
And that's why I'm saying
And that's the problem. I agree.
Right,
I agree.
we can't hear you, bro.
John, yeah, we're not hearing you.
What Roe was saying was, if you have a definite career path, then yes. I think that's what he said. I don't think it was, well, you just go there because we just saying, okay, well, hey, you going to college. That's what some parents do, yeah. And then that creates the problem, because then you got to worry about how that kid is going through that institution, or wherever institution they go to, and they're just out doing whatever, partying, and not even daggone focusing on what they need to do, and then that's a waste.
Yeah.
But if you have a definite goal and you are going to pursue it, then yeah. But if you're not, then no.
Well, I mean, I've also seen in several instances where kids have what they think is a definite path, and then they get to college and they like, oh no, I don't want to do this.
I've seen that.
I've seen that a lot too. So I do agree with Ro in the sense that if you know you want to be a doctor, if you know you want to be a lawyer, if you know you want to be a nurse, if you know that you want to be an engineer, then okay, cool, I get it. But if you that kid and your parents like you going to college and you going into your second year of college and you don't even know what you want to major in, then college probably isn't for you. And at that point, you are incurring debt,
Unnecessary.
unnecessary debt. So, you know, that can be a problem.
And
I mean,
if I can expand a little bit, my bad, Big.
no,
But
go ahead.
also, it's not just going to college; it's where you're going to college too that makes a difference. If you gotta, because college is not, we got to stop looking at college for the educational value and or the debt that you're going to incur, but college also teaches a lot of life skills. A lot of kids have been in the house. It's kind of a controlled environment somewhat where they can learn or apply the life skills that you taught in the home. They're in a dormitory without supervision. They got to wash their own clothes, get their own food. It kind of sets the table and teaches them how to organize their life. Okay, I know I got school, I got this, I got these other things. If I got a part-time job, I got that too. And it kind of teaches them to manage those type of skills. And that kind of prepares them for life going forward also. Not, yeah, we got to teach it in the home, but college helps them with the application process, which is where you really, really learn and perfect those type of skills.
That can get expensive though.
It
Learning that
can.
way. Now, I'm gonna tell you, for me, I'm like Big. I used to commute, and the way I learned those skills is they put me out. That's how I learned those skills.
I didn't get put out, but I was ready to move out, and we moved out. Got a townhouse or whatever, and it was better, a better experience, living life that way. But for me, or for my belief, I should say, I think kids should go to college. Now, this is the thing. Both my kids went to college. They both graduated from college. My son knew exactly what he wanted to do when he entered, and his about 3.5 years in, he didn't want to do that no more. And our conversation was that, you in deep, bruh. You in real deep. Let me give you some advice. Go ahead and get this knocked out. And if you want to do something else, you can flip the coin and go back and do it. But you just need to finish and get into life. Because for men got to get out there and start scraping their knees up, scraping their elbows up. And not saying that females don't, I'm just saying, men are the foundational, well, they both a foundational piece of the family, but they should be holding as much of everything as they can.
The responsibility is
right. The responsibility is greater as the man and the father and the husband. So I told him to finish. He's not working in his field now. He working, but he's not working in his field. My daughter, she hasn't. It's a really different job market right now, and she hasn't been really able to find what she's looking for or what she needs. So I'm just working with. I mean, in this world of it's a pandemic going on right now, so the requirements and the needs may be less at certain places because they've got so many people that are working from home already that understand what the job is. So we got to find ways to adjust to what it is. Those were some good alternatives. You brought up trade school, but I think that people that need to go to school are the people that are looking at these STEM fields. Like everybody else, if you're going to work at a call center to be a manager, you don't need to go to college. Sorry. You don't need to do that. If you're working at, it's various. It's different fields that you just don't need to. You need to, when you go get that job, even if you're working at a big box store, when you're going to get that job, you need to go there not to just work so you can have money to go party and play. You need to go in there with a purpose to climb that ladder if that's where you're going to be. Because getting those titles along the way will put you in different positions when you decide maybe it's time for me to leave this company or go to a new location, because it'll increase your earning and ability and income. Go ahead, D.
Yeah, I just wanted to go back and add to when you were talking about your kids went to college and your daughter came out and your son came out and they're not really working in their fields.
Mhm.
When my daughter was in college, she was going into her second year, and I knew what she was trying to major in wasn't going to work for her. So I stepped in. I said, "Look, let's think about this. This is what you're trying to do. Um, you don't really need to be here to do this. So if this is the case, then we're wasting money and time." So and she realized it. So she changed her major into something that she was passionate about, and she finished. And it actually was a situation, a major that when she came out of school, she'll be able to go right into the workplace. So it
Mhm.
worked out well. But as a parent, I knew, like, nah. So I stepped in, and it wasn't me necessarily telling my daughter what she needed to major in, just kind of helping guide her towards something that fit what her passion is. And but I knew, a little bit about what she was trying to do, and I knew what she was passionate about. So I stepped in. As a parent, I stepped in.
What was that? What was the initial major that she was in?
She was majoring in what is it, childhood management or something like that, because she wanted to open a daycare. And I was like, what? I said, nah, we wasting our time. So,
Right.
I stepped in, and she ended up changing her major to environmental science. So she came out of school and she went. It took her 2 months to find a job, and she's been in that field, and she's moving up that corporate ladder now. So she's doing very well at this point. But I knew, you talking about going to college because you want to open up a daycare. Nah, let's revisit this right
It's,
Mhm.
it's a lot of people
here.
by people with no degree, fam. Yeah.
Yeah. So let me ask you this. I know we talked about slightly about some alternatives, but what are some fields that you know of that have a 6-figure earning potential where you don't need to go to college?
Plumber,
Okay.
electrician,
Right.
carpenter,
Right.
real estate agent.
You rolling them off. You rolling them off.
Well, you
Appraiser.
don't have to necessarily go to a 4-year college, but you have to go through some type of formal training.
Oh,
Yeah.
You
absolutely.
have formal training, but it
Absolutely.
ain't gonna be 4 or 5 years. You know what I'm saying? And most of the time, they will pay you. In a lot of instances, they will
Oh,
pay you to
Yeah.
learn.
I mean,
Yeah.
if you go
Yeah.
if you go to the if you work for like a shipyard or something like that, then they will pay you to be able to go to school and get those type of technical technical courses in, like drafting, um, engineering, whatever areas of that. They will pay you to do that,
Right, but
So,
specifically right now, what we talking about at this point is the 6-figure.
I mean, but that
potential.
has the potential to earn if you go up, if you go up.
Right, as you climb the ladder. But I'm talking about walking in the door. That's what we talking about, right? Initially walking in the door. Derek laid out some,
Yeah.
plumber, electrician, real estate agent, loan officer, mortgage loan officer.
Yeah.
Uh,
Welder.
you got you will have to go to appraisal
That's the
school, but it's
same
still
thing.
not
That's the
4
same
years
thing.
long. There are y'all thinking? I don't
No,
want
I mean, I got a few more. I mean,
Go ahead,
I
rattle them
just,
off, bro. Rattle them off.
yeah. I mean, we talked about it. I know a barber that owns his own shop. He does. He's in 6 figures. I mean, there are several. I said a welder.
That's
I
the
don't know
shop
if
owner.
y'all.
I'm
I
talking
don't.
about what I'm specifically talking
Okay.
about
A
is someone
welder.
could wake up, could graduate to yesterday, wake up today, and have a 6-figure earning potential. So as a barber, you ain't gonna have that
Well, no, you're right.
the next day.
But a welder. So they
Okay.
come. Yeah, they have the potential to come out and make that type of money, depending on what type of work you're doing.
Right. A car salesman, insurance agent. There is some learning, but it's not the same amount of time that it's gonna take. So people that are really focused on, look, school ain't for me, but I need to earn a decent income. There's opportunities out there, and you have to. It makes sense when you're young to go chase something that may not be guaranteed. It's more money in the field of sales. And then if you want to guarantee like some of these other fields that Derek talked about, you can go right in and you can learn a skill. If you can learn the skill of sales, you'll never be broke. You'll never be broke. If you learn how to be a plumber, you'll never be broke. You'll never be broke even if you don't have a job. Because if people know you're a plumber, they're gonna be calling you for all types of side work, even mechanics. You can earn a 6-figure income being a mechanic. You got to be at a real busy location, but you can still learn that.
You stretching, bro. Six figures as a mechanic, you own your own shop. 6 figures as a mechanic, you own your own shop. You have extensive clientele, and you working on imports.
Yeah,
the specialized vehicle. I mean, because I know some guys that
the service industry is you have to build that reputation up to build your brand to really be that 6-figure income. I'm saying like your like you saying your barbers and all that stuff like that, where you build your expertise and clientele, like Roe was saying. When you can build that, then you'll reach that level. But until then,
well, then some of those industries, and I'm not saying that every mechanic. That's not what I'm saying. That every mechanic, because every real estate agent ain't gonna make 100. Every car salesman ain't gonna make 100. We talking about earning potential. Where places are, you have the potential to make that, because you can't go to the grocery store and do that. You see what I'm saying? The earning potential at the grocery store, unless you were in top management. Walking in the grocery store, you're not going to do it. So we're talking about potential, because I want to reshape the some of the thinking of our of people in our community, younger ones, because a lot of times we think about that job and how much that job paying. That $850 ain't going to get you there. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes not getting that $850, but working through closing certain deals or doing high ticket stuff like plumbers. I remember one night, man, I called a plumber out to my grandmother's house, man. She only had one bathroom, and it was something. The way the house was designed, there was an old joint in there that had clogged up. The guy came out. It was late. It was over $500 for the plumber. He got it cleared, but look, you know what I'm saying? So.
That reminds me of a field to go in, and they tax you when they come out. HVAC.
Oh, HVAC, they're gonna get you too. HVAC is another potential. It's not necessarily one where you will, you'll be an independent guy doing that, but they do well. We talking about a job, because that's what my next question was. Hey, thanks again for watching today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it. If you like this week's episode, please check out some of our previous that may be here, or here. I'm not real sure. But anyway, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell notification. It'll let you know when we drop any other content. Until next week, peace.